to my class again. So children, are you ready? Today I am going to teach you chemistry of 9th class. That is the first chapter, language of chemistry. So before teaching, just I want to remind you, already you have learnt about the language of chemistry in your previous classes. Maybe I am thinking from 6th class onwards you have learnt, and teachers maybe told you to by heart all the symbols and formula of the elements and the compounds. Maybe you have by hearted the symbols of the elements from 1 to 20 and some important symbols also, and then atomic numbers also. And from the atomic numbers I can say you that, as you have know that what are the atomic numbers, means your protons, neutrons, electrons, those are what are the subatomic particles, their electronic configuration, and how to derive the valency. Already you know that one. Then also here in 9th class, as we are going to read some more things about the symbols and formulas, again we will recall all these things, all the symbols, all the formulas, what is the modern definition of valency, what is the significance of the symbols and formulas, everything again we will read, and along with that we will read some new concept. Those are the radicals. Radicals means from that symbols and the formulas of the elements and compounds only, what are the radicals, how they are formed, all these things we will read here. Then in your 9th class, only that much concept is your more. So whatever you have read already, again we will recall that one. It will be easy for you because already you have learnt all the things, and then also I will teach you today, and whatever already you have learnt, that only in this part I will teach, and the new concept I will teach in the next part. So children, are you ready for that? So without wasting time, let's start our topic. So children, as I have told, today I am going to teach you the language of chemistry. So first of all, let's learn what is the chemistry. So what is chemistry? Chemistry is the branch of science that deals with the characteristics and composition of all materials. All means everything, whatever you are using in your day-to-day life, maybe living, non-living, whatever the things, all are having some composition, and that composition we will represent in the form of the formula, symbols like this, and that what we are dealing, that chemistry is known as a language of chemistry. So for this representation of the symbols, first John Dalton, one scientist, John Dalton, he gave some symbols. And what was the type of symbols? That is the some circles and some circular symbols, enclosed markings. Marking means suppose some circles like this and some markings are like this or like this. Anything, it was the type of the things. Now it is not in your course, that's why I am not giving you the more idea. So just forget this about. So John Dalton first gave what type of symbol? That is the circular symbol with enclosed marking. That only you remember. What is the type of symbol? Circular symbols with enclosed markings. Just for your basic idea, enclosed markings. After that, one scientist, Swedish chemist was there, named J.J. Berzelius. J.J. Berzelius. What he gave Berzelius? What he gave? The modern symbols of the elements. What else? Now also we are using that. Who gave that one? J.J. Berzelius. Now children, as already you have learnt about all the symbols of the elements, then also just I want to remind you, I will write all the symbols. Just you recall all the things. If you didn't by heart still now, then this is your prior work to by heart all the symbols. So now children, let's write all the symbols of the elements. So children, here I have written many of the symbols of the elements. Maybe you have learnt up to the 20. You can see also serial wise I have written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 20. That is the number I have given. And after that I changed, that is 25, 26, 27, 28 like this. I changed the number what is in your course or it is needed to you. All the elements it is not needed. So what you have to remember, that only I have written. So what are these numbers? Why I have gave these numbers up to 20? I have gave serial wise, and after that I changed, because as I have told in my introductory part only, you have to recall all about the protons, neutrons, electrons like this. So just now recall about the protons. What are the number of protons present in the element? That only your atomic number. Means whatever the numbers I have given, these are your proton numbers, and proton numbers turns into your atomic numbers, and these elements are placed in your periodic table, which I am going to teach you in lesson 7 or lesson 8, whatever it is there. So before that, just you recall that one. These are called your atomic numbers. So according to that numbers only, I have written all the elements name. I didn't make it the serial wise, because it is very, very important for you to remember all the atomic numbers also. That's why I have written all the atomic numbers. Up to 20 serial wise it is needed, and after that some important elements and some important symbols only I have written. Now, what is the way to write the symbols? That as for the Berzelius, now IPSC means your full form of IPSC is International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. That IPSC has to approve the name of the elements. But whatever the Berzelius gave these symbols, IPSC also approved that one, that how the symbols will be represented. So first thing, the symbols of some elements were derived from the first letter of their English names. Now we can say here, this is the hydrogen means H. Now whatever it is, boron means B, carbon means C, nitrogen means N. So many of the symbols are derived from their English names. Now the second one is, the symbol of some elements were derived from the first two letters of their English name. Now you can see the two letters He, that is it is an English name. He, the two letters came. Lithium, Li, it came. Beryllium, Be, it came. So some came from the single letter, some came from the two letter. And very, very important thing, children, you have to remember, I am telling you, always many children are doing the silly mistake here. They are writing in other your fourth letter like this, they are cursive writing, they are writing. You cannot use the cursive writing or any of the letter here. Only you have to write in these letters. And second one, very, very important, whatever the single name, single letter representation are there, they must be in your capital letter. Again, I want to remind you, children, whatever the single letter representation, they must be in your capital letter. And whatever your two letter representation are there, first letter will be your capital, second letter must be your small. You cannot write both the letters as a capital letter. So very, very important, and because many children are doing the silly mistake here only. They are writing both the letters capital, or they are writing the single letter small. So don't do, because it is totally wrong. Single letter representation capital, two letter representation, first one capital, second one is your small. And don't use other letters. These letters only you can use for your representation. Now third thing, the symbols of some elements were derived from the Latin or German names. Now I will show you. See here, you can see sodium. Sodium means it didn't come from sodium. Any letter you can see that what is the representation, it didn't come from the sodium. So another word came, that is the Na. That is also two letter, first one capital, second one small, but also it is not coming from the sodium. So that is a Latin name, natrium. So like this, here also it is there Cu. See, copper, COPPER, but it derived from the Latin name, that is the Cu. So many things you can see here also. Potassium also you see K. So it is not coming from the English name. They are from the Latin or German names. Now you have to remember what are the Latin names and what are the German names. So two are the German names. One is the zinc, another one is the tungsten. Now I will write here. Here you can say tungsten. It is the German name. Tungsten is your German name. And another one also I have written, you can see that one, that is the zinc. Zinc, where I have zinc. This is your German name. This is your German name. So both the things came from the German name. Other than that, whatever the potassium and your, you can say silver, and you can say your sodium, all came from the Latin names. So there are three representation came from the English, two are came from English name, and from German and Latin name it came. And again I want to tell you just in shortcut manner, single letter means capital, two letter means first one capital and second one the small. Repeatedly I am telling, so don't do mistake, remember all the things. Now already up to 20 you have learnt in your previous classes, maybe you remember also. Now whatever the extra things right now I have told, now you can write in your fair note and by heart all these things. Now go to the next part. Now children, we will read about the significance of symbol of elements. What is the significance? Means why it is needed to give symbol of a element. Why we are giving? What is the need to give the symbol? So first one, what is the need? Point wise we will read that one. That it represents name of the element. Represents name of the element. As already I have written that one, that according to the name, we no need to write the full name of that one. Only by the symbols only you can came to know that what is that element. So it in a shortcut manner only you can know the element name. So it represents the name of the element. This is the first significance. Now second one, it represents one atom of the element. What it represents? One atom of the element. Means what? One atom of the elements. Means suppose here is hydrogen. H you are writing, suppose H you are writing, means it is one hydrogen atom. Or He you are writing, means it is one helium atom. Means whatever the symbols you are writing, that is only your one atom. Suppose oxygen, O. O means it is the one atom only. So it represents one atom of the elements. That is your another significance. Your third significance is it represents a definite mass of the elements. What represents? Definite mass of the element. Mass of the element. Means suppose one atom, means it is the oxygen, already I have told, or it is hydrogen, that represents your one atom. Means as again you it is needed to recall here, in one atom that subatomic particles are there, that are the protons, electrons and neutrons. And you already know that one, what is the mass of oxygen or what is the mass of hydrogen? Means mass means sum of your protons and the neutrons. So one atom of oxygen means it is calculated that, as you know that oxygen is your 8. It is your atomic number. And that time also I have told that what are the protons only, that are the atomic numbers. Protons equal to atomic number. So as I have given 8 number to the oxygen, so these are the number of protons present in the oxygen. And number of neutrons also, these are 8 only. Neutrons also 8. So what is the mass of oxygen? That 8 plus 8, that is equal to 16. Means one atom of the element, that is the mass is the 16. Like this, here proton is 1 and your neutron is 0. So mass is your 1. So one atom of hydrogen means that mass is the 1. So here one atom means, O means simply if I will give you O and I will ask you what is the mass, directly you can say it is the 16. Means the symbol also represents, O means it is the symbol, and mass I will ask means that is the 16. So that also it is representing a definite mass of the elements. From the symbol only you can say the mass also. Now next, what is the next significant? The next significant is the, it represents mass of the element. Already as I have told that and that mass also two units are there. Suppose any unit had not given to you, that time you can tell that it is the only symbol U. Suppose O means 16 U, you can write, or O means 16 AMU. What is AMU? Atomic mass unit. Like this also you can write. Otherwise, if I will tell that no, don't write U or AMU, just you represent it in the form of gram, that also you can write O equal to 16 gram. So these are the unit you have to write here. So as I told that one, it represents the mass of the element but contains one Avogadro's number of atom of that element. What children? It is a new concept for you. Contains one Avogadro's number. Is again this point will be repeated here, that it represents definite mass of the element which contains Avogadro's number of atoms, Avogadro's number of atoms of that element. What is Avogadro's number of atoms? That I will tell you later. Just remember that one. What is Avogadro's number? What is mole? That you will read in your mole concept. I will tell you. Just you remember this point, that what is that one? One symbol means one atom which is having definite mass and which contains Avogadro's number of atoms. Avogadro's number of atoms means one symbol represent the one atom only. So these are the four significance of your symbols of the elements you have to remember. Now you can write in your fair note all the points. Now children, very important part of your chapter, valency. Be careful, you have to understand it very carefully because it is your basic thing. So valency. To understand valency, two concepts are there. One is the new concept and one was the old concept. But whatever the new and old concept is there, only the basic thing is that it is the combining capacity of an element. So basic thing is, it is the combining capacity of the element. Combining capacity of the element. Combining capacity of the element. That is the basic thing. Now, what is the old concept and what is the new concept? So, according to the old concept, what do you mean by valency? There also it is the combining capacity, but who is combining? Hydrogen is combining. How much hydrogen carbons are combining? Means your number of hydrogen atoms are combining. Atoms are combining. With whom it is combining? With other elements it is combining. Number of hydrogen atoms are combining with other elements. With other elements. This is your old concept of the valency. That is the valency. Means suppose I will tell you that one. Suppose H2O. Means how many hydrogen are combined with oxygen? 2 hydrogen is combining. Means oxygen has valency 2. Now like this, NH3. How many hydrogen are combining with N? 3 hydrogen are combining with N. Means its valency is 3. Like this CH4. How many hydrogens are combining with carbon? 4. Means it is the 4. And noble gases, you have to remember the about the noble gases, they have no valency because they are the stable in electronic configuration, so they cannot undergo for any bonding. So like this, according to the old concept, the valency was derived. But after that, one new concept came for valency that I am going to teach. Let's read. Now children, according to new concept, actually the valency are the, what is valency? And these are the valence electrons. These are the valence electrons. Valence electrons. of electron of elements, valence electrons of elements which actually takes part in a chemical reaction, Now question arises, what are valence electrons? To understand this, as I told one, you have to remember the electronic configuration, protons, electrons, neutrons, etc. So I will tell you, I will explain you also, don't worry if you didn't remember also. So you have to remember this one. These are the valence electrons, very very important part. Valence electrons of whom? Of the elements, means whose valency you want to calculate. You have to take that element and the valence electron of that element which actually takes part in a chemical reaction, means the valence electrons. Now I will tell you which valence electrons are taking part in your chemical reaction only, that is known as your valency according to your new concept. Now let's see, go to the electronic configuration. Maybe you have remembered all the things, then also again I am telling you. See, electronic configuration means again we will go to the atomic numbers. So atomic number, suppose we will start from 1. 1 means what is the hydrogen? Hydrogen means, as you know that there are the 4 cells K, L, M, N, that all your protons are have to arranged in this K, L, M, N cells, or the electrons. So suppose hydrogen is 1. 1 means, as you know that these are the number of protons, but number of protons also equal to the number of electrons. So as hydrogen is the number 1, so number of protons are also 1 and number of electrons are also 1. And as you know that the capacity of K cell is 2, the capacity of L cell is 8, the capacity of M cell is 18, and like this it is the 32, like this. Now they started, the electrons will arrange. Now how? Suppose it is the 1, means in the K cell it is the 1. Here you can say that the K cell has not completed, you can see that one. How much electron K can hold? That is the 2. But in case of hydrogen, how many electrons are there? That is the 1. So this is known as your valence electron, means it is your outermost cell electron. Hydrogen cannot go for the other cells. Suppose I will show you, this is the cell of hydrogen. This is your K cell. Means as hydrogen has the electron 1, only K cell 1 electron is there. And again 1 electron hydrogen can contain, but there is no electrons are not there. That's why in this outermost cell, K cell became the outermost cell, and in this outermost cell 1 electron are there. Now for hydrogen, valence electron became the 1, and that 1 electron will take part in your chemical reaction. That's why hydrogen has the valency 1. Hydrogen has the valency 1. Understood, children? In this way you have to calculate the valency of each element. Again I will tell you another example. Suppose you want to calculate that one, lithium. Lithium means, see what is the atomic number of lithium? That is the 3. That is the 3. As you told, I have told that what is the atomic number only? These are the number of protons and these are the number of electrons also. Now you arrange it. 3 means already how many electrons can hold in K cell? That is 2. So you do that one. Out of 3 you can put here 2. After that how much remain? 3 minus 2, that is the 1 is remained, means that 1 will go to L cell. So your electronic configuration became 2 and 1, and that time the outermost cell is L and electron is 1. That's why lithium is also the valence electron 1 and valency 1. Valence electron, or you can say valency. So in this manner you will calculate the valency. Again one question will arise. Now I will tell what is the question. some elements are there. Here whatever the numbers I have given, you got that the valence electron or outermost electron is the 1. Now another example I will give you. For example, chlorine. For example, chlorine. Chlorine is having the 17. What is the symbol? Chlorine 17. Now again we will do the electronic configuration. What is the capacity of the K cell? 2. So out of 17, 2 went. 15. What is the capacity of L? 8. 10 went. Now what is the capacity of M? 18. So how much remained? 2 plus 8. 10 went. Out of 17, 10 went. How much remained? 7. You see? 2 plus 8, 10. 17 minus 10, it is the 7. So that 7 M cell can hold, because the capacity of M cell is the 18. So 7 electrons M cell can hold, but it will incomplete. See, K cell complete, 2 is capacity and 2 already there. 8 is capacity, 8 already there, but capacity is 18, but 7 was there. Now what will happen? So that time it will turn as your valence cell, and these are the outermost electron, but you cannot take as the valency of the chlorine, because again you have to remember something here. You have to remember the Bohr's theory, that every element wants to complete their octet structure. What is octet structure? Octet structure means every element wants to complete the cell in with the 8 electrons. Not so, means here as chlorine is having the 7, that's why chlorine needs one element to complete its 8. That time the valency became 1 minus, means it is needed. Means what, children? It is needed. Again I am telling you, maybe you will be in confusion. See, chlorine means 2, 8, 7. Here Bohr told that every element wants to complete the octet structure, means in outermost cell 8 electrons they want. So here chlorine has the 7 electrons. So chlorine needs 1 electron to complete the octet structure. Now children, you can ask why it needs. It can also give, no? If chlorine is giving 7 electron also, it will be the outermost cell and 8 is there. Yes, correct. Question is the genuine question, that as chlorine is having the 7 electrons, it can give also. But you can see that one. Suppose sodium is there. Now I will take 11. 11 is sodium. Now you do the electronic configuration. This is 2. This is 8. Now what is the outermost cell? 1. Now you see that chlorine is having the 7 electron in the outermost cell and sodium is having the 1 electron in the outermost cell. Now chlorine is having also valency 1. Sodium is also having valency 1. As I told that they want to complete the octet structure, so valency will become 1. It cannot be 7. Why 1, 1? Then what is the difference is there? So it is the general question. If sodium is 1, so 1 electron is there. It needs less energy to donate this electron. Less energy is needed. Chlorine also, while making the bond with sodium, it also releasing less energy by taking 1. That's why as it has the more electrons in the outermost cell, it is not donating, it is accepting. Accepting means it is 1 minus. Donating means it is 1 plus. Remember children, sodium is donating. Sodium is donating and your chlorine is accepting. Why accepting? Why donating? Because it has less number of electron. That's why it needed less energy to donate. That's why sodium is donating. Chlorine has more electrons in the outermost cell, so it releases less energy by accepting this 1. That's why chlorine is accepting and sodium is donating. Up to 3, up to 1, 2, 3. If the outermost electron up to 3 are there, all are donating. 4, if 4 is there, then same amount of energy will be needed and same amount of energy will be released. That's why they are going for the covalent compound sharing. They are sharing. But after that, up to 1, 2, 3 valence electrons elements are donating, 5, 6, 7 are elements are accepting, 8 are the noble gases, no bond formation is there, they are stable, and 4 they are sharing. You have to remember. Again I am telling 1, 2, 3 valence electrons. 1, 2, 3 valence electrons. They are donating. They are donating. Who are accepting? 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7 valence electrons. They are accepting. 4 is going for sharing. 4 is going for sharing. 8 no bond because they are stable. No bond because they are stable. That's why you have to remember this formula to calculate the valency. So children, how will you calculate valency? According to the number of valence electron, you will calculate the valency. If number of valence electrons are 1, 2 or 3, then valency is 1 plus, 2 plus, 3 plus. If number of electrons are 5, 6, 7, then valency is 3 minus, 2 minus, 1 minus. Because if the valence electrons are 5, it needs 3 electrons to complete octet. If the valence electrons are 6, it needs 2 electrons to complete the octet. If the valence electrons are 7, it needs 1 electron to complete the octet. That's why they are accepting. Here they are donating, here they are accepting. 4, again I am telling, they are sharing, and 8 no bond. So you have to remember what are the positive and what are the negative. And these positive elements, what are these? They are known as your cations. What are these? These are cations. And these negative symbols, these are known as your anions. Anions. So these are anions. So negative elements who are accepting, these are called anions. Positive elements who are donating, they are called cations. Generally, metals are the producing cations and non-metals producing the anions. Remember, metals producing cations and non-metals producing anions. And if there is a electrovalent bond or ionic bond, you can say, what are the transfer of electrons takes place? As I told that one is donating means one is accepting. These are called the transfer of electrons. That time cations and anions are formed. But in case of sharing, no cation, no anion, only they will share, and that type of bonding is different. I will tell you the bonding in the next chapter. So here you have to remember about only valency. How will you calculate the valency? Now if, again I am telling the recapitulation points, that if in the outermost shell there are 1, 2 or 3 number of electrons, then valency are 1 plus, 2 plus and 3 plus. If in the outermost shell there are 5, 6 or 7 number of electrons, then the valency is 3 minus, 2 minus, 1 minus. If there in the outermost shell 4 number of electrons, then you can say it is 4 plus or 4 minus. Then if 8 numbers of electrons are there, then that is stable, no valency are there. Those elements has no valency. So understood children? Now we go to the next part. Now children, here I have written one new concept, that is the variable valency. What is the variable valency? Means, as I have told you, according to the modern concept of valency, those are the electrons of the outermost electrons, or you can say that the valence electrons which actually takes part in the chemical reactions. So in the next chapter again it is there, European periodic table, and we will read about more about the elements also. There are the two types of cells. One is the cell, suppose as I have told that, suppose I will told that sodium is there. Means what is the electronic configuration? 281. Means in K cell it has completed first, after that L cell completed, then after it went to the M cell. Means in case of sodium, what it is doing? After completing one cell only, it is going to the next cell. But in some elements are there which are having the higher atomic numbers. In those cases, what they are doing? Before completing one cell only, they are going to the next cell. Means, what I want to say here, some elements are there where two cells are incomplete. As I told that, in these elements, after completing one cell, the electrons are going to the next cell. But in some elements, without completing the one cell only, it is going to the next cell. And in which elements? In the higher atomic number elements. At that time, elements were divided into two parts. Who are completing the cells and jump to the next cell, those elements are called the normal elements. And those elements, without completing going to the next cell, these are called the transition elements. You will read in the chapter periodic table. Transition elements. So that time, the two cells, one is called the outermost cell, another cell is called your penultimate cell. Means two cells are incomplete, one is outermost cell and another one is the penultimate cell. Means the last two cells are incomplete in some elements. So again now we will go to our concept. Now what is the variable valency? Here sodium loses one electron, or sodium donates, or sodium contributes one electron to form bonding. That's why its valency is 1 plus. But in some cases, elements are contributing the outermost element also and some elements from the penultimate cell also. For example, I will give you copper. As I have told about the symbol of the copper. Copper is having the variable valency 1 and 2. Means copper, whenever copper is donating the outermost electron 1, the only outermost electron 1, that time the valency will be your 1 plus. Whenever copper will donate the outermost electron and another electron from its penultimate cell, that time its valency becomes 2 plus. So copper shows two valency, one is 1 plus, one is 2 plus. Like this, your gold. Gold means it is Au. Gold also shows two valencies, 1 and 3. Like this, your iron. Iron means Fe. It is also shows your two valencies, that is 2 and 3. Like this, your nitrogen. Nitrogen means N. It is showing 4 valencies, 1, 2, 3, 5. Like this, your phosphorus. Phosphorus means P. It is showing 2 valencies, 3, 5. Another one, you can say that one sulfur. Sulfur also 2, 4, 6. Now you can say tin. Tin, as I have written the symbol Sn. It is also showing 2 valencies, 2, 4. So all these cases I have written the variable valencies also. As I told that, I hope you understood. Means why elements, so it may be question will come, why element shows the variable valency. That time you can say that elements, when elements exhibits when elements loss more electrons, means loss electrons from the outermost cell and electrons from the penultimate cell also, that time it shows the variable valency. That is the answer. If elements are losing electrons from the outermost and penultimate cell, then it shows the variable valency. So this is about a new concept, variable valency, you have to remember. And children, another one little bit I am telling you, that suppose here they are showing the variable valencies. Copper, it is the 1 and 2. In between these two, which one is smaller? 1 is smaller, 2 is bigger. It is gold. Gold, which one is smaller? 1 is smaller, 3 is bigger. Fe, 2 is smaller, 3 is bigger. So like this, two names we can give. Means here copper, if copper is showing the 1 valency, means the smaller 1 valency, you have to put suffix. I will write clearly again. As I told that copper, how much, what is it is showing? Copper is showing here 1 and 2. So as I told that, which one is smaller? Copper 1 is smaller. So smaller valency, you can put your suffix OUS. Means that time the name will be cuprous. The name will be cuprous. Whenever it is showing the 2 valency, the suffix is ik, IC, means that time you can write cupric like this. Again, another example I will give you. Fe. Fe means, what are these 2 valencies are there for iron? As you know that what symbol of iron is Fe, that is the 2, 3. Whenever Fe shows the 2 valency, the suffix is OUS, means ferrous. Whenever the valency is 3, then the suffix is IC, means it is ferric. Like this. You can write all these things. The smaller valency, suffix is OUS. The larger valency, suffix is IC. And according to that, the names will come. It is all about your variable valency. So children, this is all about today's topic. Hope you understand well. But whatever I taught in this part, you have to by heart it, because definitions, symbols, formulas, that is your basic things. Without by hearting you cannot do. After that maybe you can use in your next parts, but this is your basic things like your tables or addition or subtraction. You have to by heart all these things. Already you have by heart the whatever the common formulas, but in this module what I have taught some extra formulas also, that also you have to by heart, and you have to by heart what is valency and modern definition of valency, everything. So children, as before going, always I am telling you, please share, subscribe and like my channel, and press the bell icon also to get the notification. And today, thank you all.